Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Young here, and today I'm back with another Fortnite video. In today's video, I have a building tips and tricks video for you guys, in which I'm going to show some really good building tips and tricks to help you guys from getting shot down every single time, which is really going to help you guys when it comes to clutching against those teams that are just completely spraying, maybe RPGs, just any toxic teams like that is really going to help you guys. And before we get into the video, I'm going to be launching up another V-Buck giveaway. If you guys want to win a chance to win some free V-Bucks, all you have to do is to drop a like on this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on my notifications, and leave a comment down below of your Xbox gamer tag, PSN gamer tag, or Epic account. And as well, if you guys have not already, make sure you guys add me on Snapchat. It's going to be Young Humor YT. Make sure you add me. I have a lot of cool stuff going on over there, so make sure you add me. And alright guys, let's get right to the video. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show how you can prevent yourself from getting shot down every single time and just help you fight those teams that are really toxic, the teams that are spraying a ton, just different teams like that in general. I'm going to teach you guys how to prevent yourself from getting shot down every single time against those teams. So when you want to prevent yourself from getting shot down in gunfights, there's a few things you want to keep in mind and a few things that you want to do. And I would say the first thing that you want to do when it comes to protecting yourself from getting shot down every single time is you want to put as many layers as possible in your ramps. So this is pretty basic, and a lot of you already know what this is. So obviously when you have one ramp, it's a ton easier to shoot out than when you have a wall and a ramp in front, because once you have the ramp in front, then there's going to be another layer that they have to shoot out in order to knock you down. And essentially, when you have that second layer, it takes double the time for another player who's trying to knock you down to actually knock you down. But then again, when someone is on the low ground and you have the high ground on you and they're trying to shoot you down, when they're shooting you down, you have a wide open shot on the other player. But when it comes to ramping up with the wall in front, if you're trying to ramp up on some guy who's below you, you want to play a little bit different than if someone's at the same level or higher. Because if someone's the same level or higher, then single ramp rush with walls is probably a pretty good way to counter that player. But if someone's below you, then it's going to be a lot easier for the people below you to shoot you out. And one other thing to keep in mind, and I mentioned this in other videos, is other materials. Because what is the weakest material if you use brick or steel? Actually, if you guys didn't know already, brick and steel both of them have a higher starting out health than wood does, and has a higher maximum health. It used to be kind of the other way around, where wood would have the highest start out health but the lowest overall. But now they made it that brick has more initial health and more maximum health than wood, and metal has even higher, because I think wood starts out at 90 health and then metal starts out at 110. So you guys can kind of see how that works. So in late game situations, building out of metal would definitely the way to go if you have more metal. So the single ramp rush with walls is really good when someone's kind of a little bit higher than you, or maybe at the same level. You don't want to do it when someone's below you. As you guys just saw, if someone's going to be below you, all they have to do is shoot out one ramp. But if you throw the floor in there, they're going to have to shoot out 2 layers. So making sure you practice the wall, floor, and ramp technique is a very good way to get better at this game and make it even more difficult for players under you to shoot you out. Because a lot of noobs are going to be underneath you because you're going to outbuild them, so they're going to be below you. So putting in a lot of floor panels in your builds is going to prevent you from getting shot from below. So that's really important when it comes to building and coming against players that are maybe less skilled than you, because you outbuild them and they're below you. So putting as many floor panels under your ramps or whatever building that you have is really going to save you a ton from getting shot out, because it takes even longer for that noob player to shoot you out. And another good way to prevent yourself from getting shot out is the double ramp rush with walls and the double ramp rush with walls with floors. And this is not something that I do every single time in every single layer, because it does take up a lot of mats. This is something that I still do in game nowadays, but I only use it in certain situations when I just feel like I'm going to get sprayed by a bunch of teams. Because the thing about the RPG is the RPG is going to nail you every single time. So if you're facing a guy with an RPG, you probably don't want to do something like this, because the RPG can just nail it instantly. But maybe you're facing against a guy, it's later in the game, you have a lot of mats to spare, and you feel like the guy's going to be shooting you out. So you can do something like this, and it's going to make it very difficult, very difficult for the other player to shoot you out. So next, I want to show you guys the most important building tip in this video. And when it comes to building, going into spraying teams, maybe you're playing in squads, maybe you're down a player in duos, one thing that you can do, and this can apply to, buildings, this can apply to mountains, but like I was saying earlier, when it comes to putting floor panels below you from getting shot out, this is going to make it even harder for those type of players to be able to shoot you out. So what you'd want to do is you want to connect your structures or your builds, you want to connect it to another structure that's impossible impossible to shoot out. So maybe like a building or maybe like a mountain, because once you connect your structure to a mountain, it's going to be very difficult for the other player to shoot you out, because once they shoot you out, you're going to be able to catch yourself very easily on the mountain, on the building, or whatever it is. So if you're connecting your builds to a mountain or any other structure that's going to be very difficult to shoot out, it's going to make it hard for those players to knock you down. And even when it comes to those players with RPGs, because they can RPG spam me all they want, but I can keep catching myself time after time again on that building or on that rock. So it's going to be very difficult for those spraying teams to be able to just knock you down every single time. So making sure you connect your build to another structure that's even stronger is definitely a way to go, and something that I keep in mind a ton, because if I'm playing squads or I'm playing against a bunch of players and I have maybe a couple of teams pushing me or whatever the case may be, and maybe it's not just a 1v1 situation, either way, if I can connect my builds to another stronger structure, then I'm going to be set. It's going to be very difficult to take me off of high ground and to shoot me down as well. So when you're building on these structures, you're pretty much immune to fall damage unless you just don't catch yourself because you're a bot or whatever. If you just don't catch yourself, I mean, that's just, I don't even know. If you can't catch yourself after getting shot out in a mountain or a building right next to you, I don't even know. But also, if you connect other builds as well, so maybe you don't just have one ramp, maybe you have two ramps connecting, the other player is pretty much, they either have to push you or they pretty much have to hide or run away, because there's no chance that they're going to be able to knock you down from that situation. And a lot of players that I've noticed, a lot of like lower skill players, a lot of new players, and once you get that high ground on them and they're going to try to shoot you out, they're going to leave themselves wide open to get shot. So this could be a really good way to get a lot of open shots, because they're going to be trying to knock you down, but it's going to be very difficult for them. So even if they do happen to knock you down, you can catch yourself right away. And another thing that I want to show you guys that's really important is connecting your builds even more, and that can be to another player's building, because if another player's ramping up on you and they want to shoot you out, another really good thing that you can do is making sure that you connect their building to your building. From that situation there, all they had to do was shoot you out and you're going to have low ground, and then you would have to try to get up. But one thing that you can do is connect your building to theirs. So if they try to do the exact same thing in the exact same situation, if they try to knock down your builds, they would also have to knock down their building as well to knock you down. So just being able to connect your buildings like that is really going to save you from getting knocked down as well. So that's really, really important, especially if you're facing teams that are spraying, maybe RPG spammers. This doesn't always mean you're not going to get shot down, but it's definitely going to prevent it, because the other player or the other teams that are going to be trying to knock you down, they have to shoot more structure in order to knock you down, which is going to buy you enough time to do whatever you're doing either way. Unless you're trying to pop a chug jug or a med kit or something, which is going to be very difficult against teams that are spraying a ton. So now, since they took out redeploy gliders, you have to be careful of overbuilding too much, because of course you overbuild too much, you're going to get shot down instantly. So a good rule to have when it comes to overbuilding, to making sure you don't overbuild way too much, is you don't want to go more than, I would say, more than 3 stories above the other player that you're shooting at. You go any more than that, then you get shot down instantly, and you're probably going to end up taking fall damage from that high. So you don't want to go more than, I would say, 3 stories above the other player that you're shooting at. Typically, I stay 1 to 2 layers, and 1 can be kind of risky because they can take high ground pretty simply if you mess up at all. But at 2 stories high, it can be difficult to get a high damage pump shot. So it just depends on the situation, how you want to play it. So I would say if you're 2 or 3 stories higher, then I would definitely use a SCAR. Wouldn't use a shotgun too much, maybe a shotgun, and then immediately pull out a SCAR next. But making sure not to go over 3 layers above the other player is really going to save you from getting shot down and taking fall damage a ton. And another good way that I didn't cover yet in this video to add extra layers to your building to help you guys prevent yourself from getting shot down is when you're ramping out, say maybe you got 1 shot and you have high ground, what you can do is you can floor out to them, but when you're flooring out, you also want to place pyramids as well. Because once you place those pyramids, it gives you an extra layer, so if they try to shoot you out, they have to shoot out the floor first, and then they can shoot out the pyramid. And by then, you're pretty much going to be shooting at them back. And when it comes to something like that, as well as other builds as well, because, you know, on double ramp rush with walls, you have 2 walls and 2 ramps, so it's a little bit more difficult to shoot out. And the same concept applies to when you do this as well. Because if they try to shoot you out, they have to shoot out 2 layers in order to knock you down. Because if you're just building out 1 time, but I would say if you have to cover a little bit of distance and there may be a little bit of room and they have enough time to shoot you out, I would definitely recommend doing it with the 2 layers, just so it makes it that much harder for the other player to shoot you out. And the whole idea is you're going to get shot down a lot in this game. A lot of people are going to try to shoot you down, but you want to do as much as you can to prevent that from happening, because once you have that low ground, as you guys know, that's when bad things happen. That's when you're going to get screwed over and lose gunfights. So like I said, the biggest tip in this video is making sure you connect your builds to other builds when you can, like maybe structures like walls, buildings, or other mountains. That's going to save you from getting shot down a ton in this game. And alright guys, that's all for this video. Hope you guys liked this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to drop a like on this video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. Turn on my notifications so you're notified for every single new video. And alright guys, I will see you in the next video.